Hey guys, Liz Stapleton here from bloggerbreakthrough.com, and in this video I'm going to show you around Airtable, which is a great free tool for those that love organization but don't like to think about spreadsheet formulas. So I'm just going to walk you through using it and kind of some of the things you can do. Like I said, it is free. There are, of course, paid upgrades because what tool doesn't have that? But honestly, you can get by with the free plan if you really want to. I don't think I have any paid upgraded workspaces. All right, so let's go ahead and create a new workspace because this is where you're starting out. You're not going to have all these here, but let's do a new workspace, and we're gonna say YouTube. All right, and then we're gonna add a base. So a base is like a spreadsheet, and you can have multiple sheets within it. It doesn't have to be a spreadsheet format. There's lots of different views, and I'll go over that. But sort of if you're trying to decide if you need multiple bases or not, you can do that. So just hit add a base, and you can start with a template, and they have some really great templates. The only sort of caveat I will say regarding the templates is some of them, like, they look amazing when you look at them, but it's because they're using paid version, so yours isn't going to look the same unless you upgrade. So just sort of keeping that in mind. And so you can look, there's a bunch here. You can also search for them. So if you want to do, I'm in the middle of an audit for my email marketing service, but you can see there's just a bunch here. Let's go ahead and look at a content calendar template, simply because that is, for bloggers, that's a lot of what we're doing. So we'll let us view the template. Taking a second to load. So you can see it's got a content pipeline, campaigns, right? And then the results. All right, and it's kind of nice that you can do those different views, okay? So let's go ahead, let's say use this template, and I'll show you how to create one from scratch as well. And throw it in our YouTube workspace. And I am on the free version. So you're gonna see like these apps, like these aren't available because, let me get that out of the way, because I haven't upgraded. So, but you can just hide them. Oops. By exiting there, okay? And I can look at automations. So if I want to create some automations, this is a newer feature. It definitely didn't used to have automations, so it is kind of nice that it will do that. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we got here. Okay, so you can see this is all, kind of you can just delete if you want. And it's just as simple as drag and dropping, just like you would any other tool. But you can do, what's nice, so you'll notice like this is a name, and then this is going to be a drop down. And so live and products on hold planning. What's the headline going to be? Subheadline, so it can be a longer text. This can assign who's the creator. So if you have multiple people, and you can have multiple people even on the free plan, you can attach the image so it's all in one place, determine what the due date's going to be, and if you double click, it'll show you the calendar. And then what channels, right? So YouTube's not on here, so I'm going to actually add another one. Whoops. So I can customize the field type. I'm going to add YouTube. Oops, save. So now, drop down. So now I can click on YouTube, okay? And then this one's actually linking to this other sheet. And it's kind of nice because you can obviously do this in spreadsheets, whether you're using Google Sheets or Excel or something, but it's so much easier, right? So if I just wanted to go here and say I want to link to another record, then I just select the table. It's just, you don't have to like figure out whatever formula it is, which I find nice. So let's go ahead and look at campaigns. So maybe the campaign is going to be something like, I don't know, sprint creation, right? And it's in the planning stage, who's the lead, who's the content creator, and this is actually a roll-up, it looks like. So It allows you to sort of summarize the data, so it pulls in who's working on it. Okay. And the number of posts. So, you know, if you're doing a promotion for something, you know, how many posts or videos are you going to do on that tool? Start date, end date, campaign assets, and it's going to pull in, let's go ahead and look at this. It's going to pull in and related. So let's look at what this does. So what this does is that lets it link to the content pipeline. So this is the sort of the other end of that content link, if you will. So here I can select, you know, the new video. And when I go back, it's going to say it's part of sprint creation. And then results is kind of nice. So this is where, like, these are sort of typical spreadsheet views, but you can actually do lots of views. Okay. So if I go over here, I can see the other options. So if I want to create a form, or just look at the calendar view of when stuff's publishing, it'll automatically create it from what's in here. Okay, so you don't have to like redo all the data. Or gallery, Kanban, if you're a big fan of Trello, this is like the cards, it's really the same idea. So when we look at this, this is a sort of card view, and I can click on it and find more information, right? So it just kind of gives me an idea. There is a field here that is a formula, but again, it's kind of just simple arithmetic, so nothing too fancy. All right, so let me go ahead and head back to our workspace, and I will show you how to create one from scratch. Okay, so we're going to start from scratch. And I'm going to call this my untitled base email marketing. And you can choose different, you know, do a little envelope and make it pink. Okay, so you'll see this is just the default, but you can change all of these, right? So I might rename this freebie, and then this funnel. And it can be a single select, right? So these are all the different ones you can do. So you could do a multiple select, a checkbox, single select, date, email, URL, number, currency, percent, you know, like it's really... There's a lot of things you could do. Count, lookup. So I'm just going to make this a single select. And I'm going to say, all right, so now I've got 3 different funnels. This is all just made up, right? You get the idea. And maybe I want to attach the freebie, so I'll do that. And then I'm going to make that sequences. I'm going to go back and adjust that soon. Okay, so I want to create maybe a sequences, and I can name it, any notes, and then I'm going to maybe add the URL. Status, so is it live, is it not? And then I'm also going to have it link to table 1. So not only is it going to show me over here, which I'm going to just change the title of this to freebies, what freebies this has to do with it, but it's also going to show me in here. So this will, the sequence will show up in the freebie, but the freebie will also show up in the sequence. Okay, and then here we're going to do blog posts. So I'm going to list out the blog posts. I'm going to do title. So I'm going to have it show what freebie is featured in that blog post. Okay. And then I could always add the sequence as well if I wanted. So I'm going to delete this. And so now if I do, so now that I've got a record in each of these, I can quickly see kind of what blog posts this freebie is featured in, because it's a good chance there'll be several, right? So maybe there's a second blog post. And when I go back to the freebie, I will see all the blog posts that it is showcased in. So that's kind of how you work from scratch. But this is all, you know, different views. So let's go ahead and add a view of the freebies. So if I had the image there, I would see it, which is kind of nice because at a glance, you sometimes just your brain processes images faster. So if your freebie image is in there, you're quickly going to see what's what. You could also do form. Like I said, you could do Kanban. So let's go for funnel, right? So which freebie connects to which funnel. Calendar. There's not really any dates involved. Maybe you're doing like a published, right? Create field. Okay. So then you've got the calendar and you can look at the month, week by day. You can have it sync if you want. So it's really just a great free tool. And so you could share the view to sync it, right? But you could also just, if you want to invite someone, if you have a VA or you just, you're working with a client maybe. I actually do use Airtable to share my clients' data with them, like the progress we're seeing with their Pinterest marketing. So you can sync it to an external calendar, but you can also embed it somewhere. So if you want to embed this, I use ClickUp. You can actually embed Airtable stuff into ClickUp, which is kind of nice. Or you could just share it in general, right? So you can copy the link. You can allow them to copy the data. You can, do all sorts of things with this. You can also just share the entire email marketing thing. So you can share the workspace, which is all of the YouTube, or just the space. And you can say if they can be creators, editors, commenters, or read only. So that way you control sort of what they're able to do with this. All right, so with the free plan, you can actually do an unlimited number of bases. But the bases do max out at 1,200 records. So that's the only place where I've run into issues is I do max out depending on what I'm doing. And so I've had to, on more than one occasion, what I'll do is I'll just create a new base and have it sort of continue rather than upgrading. So that's one way around it. And it does allow for 100 automations a month, which is similar to ClickUp. ClickUp has the same thing on its free plan. So that is Airtable for you. It is, I think, a great tool for sort of if you're not super spreadsheet savvy, and you don't have to necessarily turn this into your entire project management, because you can use it inside other project management tools, preferably for me, ClickUp. But it is, whatever you're using, you can embed and share links and grab the links, and it will make your life easier. So I hope this video helped you. And if you guys have questions about Airtable, let me know in the comments.